Welcome to Amazing Devotions for Men. These amazing devotions are lessons from men of the Bible, men like you or men you are acquainted with. They are from all walks of life. These lessons are a compilation of Bible characters that has been documented in a devotional for men, entitled, A Legacy. The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right though the heavens fall. This quote was taken from the book Education, page 57 by E.G. White. Today's devotion is a two-part series of the life of Balaam, a man who would do anything for money, based on the book of Numbers, chapters 22 through chapter 24 of the Bible. Balaam was a man who loved money. He was most likely a descendant of Shem, which meant he would have had knowledge of Jehovah God. He represented himself as a good prophet, but he was in fact an apostate prophet. Men of his status charge great sums of money for their services, and he was no exception. He was a man who would do anything for monetary gain. Unfortunately, his greed for gain cultivated a character that lacked ethical and spiritual morals, which led him on a path to eternal destruction. Balaam ran a lucrative business that supported his unscrupulous services. His ministry was solely for himself. Many church ministers, and those who minister in different spiritual capacities, only do so at a price, and most times a very high one. When this cannot be achieved through their congregation, they very often venture into the world, where they gain power, wealth, and fame by utilizing their God-given talents as a business. Talents that would normally be used for God's services are rendered for the services of the world. God would have been lifted up, glorified, and exalted if professed religious artists who unduly paid homage to the devil as Balaam did, had they not traded their spiritual talents for worldly gain. Balak, who was the enemy of the children of Israel, solicited Balaam's services at a price to put a curse on Jacob's children, which he willingly accepted. His agreement to go against God's people did not take much persuading. Some men would turn against their own mothers for monetary gain. Once a man determines to disobey God, it becomes easier for him to sin, and subsequently his conscience is no longer affected. In an effort to justify continuing his selfish pursuit, Balaam prayed a presumptuous prayer, though he admitted it was wrong. God heard that prayer and gave him up to his own wicked devices. His first prayer was answered in the negative. Praying again meant that he wanted the answer to be in his favor. Many men have done and are still doing exactly what Balaam did. When praying for a spouse, a job, or change in life, God's first answer should be accepted, regardless of it not being favorable. Going against God's wishes normally results in disappointment, as Balaam discovered. God gave Balaam more than one opportunity to do the right thing. He had been given enough time to reason that it was ethically and spiritually wrong to accompany Balak's ambassadors, who were actually the devil's messengers. His first error in judgment was to entertain Balak's messengers by refusing on the grounds of spiritual morality, but he could not because he had none. When a man lacks ethical and spiritual morality, he will go against God's wishes and will eventually reap regrettable consequences. If you are a man like Balaam, you can stop entertaining the devil's messengers and start exercising ethical and spiritual morals today. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it, and whoso breaketh an hedge, a serpent shall bite him. Ecclesiastes 10:8. Thank you for watching the Amazing Devotions channel. Your continued support is appreciated. Come back tomorrow for lessons from the false prophet Balaam Part 2 and hear a true account of a talking donkey based on the book of Numbers, chapter 22 through 24 of the Bible. By subscribing, you won't miss any of these amazing daily devotions. Remember to tell the men in your lives about lessons from amazing men of the Bible.